The Scottish Premiership returned this weekend, and it wouldn't be the Scottish Premiership without a baffled Chris Sutton crying about another penalty decision that went against Celtic. Did they lose 4-0? Did they draw? Did they lose 8-0? They actually won 4-0, but the tears continued to flow. Welcome back to Fog Football. They continued to flow as Kyogo fell to the floor, poleaxed by Robbie McCrory. We initially thought it was actually offside, but according to Sky, it was onside, but according to the Sky pundits, it was actually natural contact. Verdict, let's go. Thoughts?
Well, personally, I'm still a little bit undecided on whether it should have been a penalty or not. I can certainly see why Celtic would believe it was a penalty, but one man who was not undecided was Chris Sutton, and boy, did he let us know about it. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes after the incident, he was still crying about it. He was still talking about it. And I could understand if the game was on a knife edge or if Celtic were losing. Hell, even if it was only 1-0 and the game wasn't secured. But at this point, it was 3-0 Celtic. And all we heard on commentary for the next 10 minutes was Chris Sutton whining about a decision that didn't go Celtic's way, talking about the VAR team and how he cannot believe that they're this poor in order to not give the penalty. And this is at a time when he didn't even know the reason. I mean, there was a good chance that it was offside. It was 50-50, yet he was still adamant that it should have been a clear penalty. You would think he would have just withheld his thoughts, and then possibly when it was confirmed that Kyogo was onside, then maybe say, I totally disagree with that. But I just think with the possibility of it being offside in the first place, that could have been a logical explanation as to why it wasn't given. You factor that in with Celtic already being 3-0 up. It wasn't going to decide the game. It wasn't going to change anything. Yet Chris Sutton got on pathetically, acting like this was somehow going to decide a league title or even decide a game. It makes no sense to me. This is what Chris Sutton said. He was stunned, he was furious, he was angry, he was everything. He said, quote, "That's ridiculous. I am baffled and absolutely speechless. If he's onside, that should be a penalty. How has the penalty not been awarded there? McCrory knows he didn't get the contact." End of quote. And look, was it a penalty? Yeah, probably. Am I leaning towards it being a penalty? Yes, but to say that he's absolutely speechless, like that's the worst thing that he's seen on a football pitch, man. I don't know, just Chris Sutton, for me, trying to create drama on the opening day when the game was already done, the game was already over, and this guy's bringing up penalty claims. This is some sort of psychology thing, like Callum McGregor for a few seasons ago. Could this be Chris Sutton bitching about VAR now so that maybe when it does matter, Celtic do get the penalty? Could it be putting pressure on the officials? Maybe. I just don't understand why he went on about it for so long, considering it didn't change the game. Because we've seen decisions in the past that would change games, and then people say, forget about it, the match is over, just move on. Well, the decision was made 10 minutes ago, and Chris Sutton was still ranting about it. Very unprofessional, I think. There's other stuff going on in the match, and he's still whining and complaining about the penalty shout from 10 minutes ago. Like I said, if the game was in the balance, then fair enough. But at 3-0, I don't get the point yet.
He was getting on like a petulant child. There's no two ways about it. We thought it was offside, but if Sky, right, and the reporting that it was in fact onside, there is obviously a collision between the two, right? Kyogo's got the shot away. McCrory and him have collided. It was a poor shot, which actually would have enabled Kyogo, if he got past McCrory, to be able to tap it in. So I think for that reasoning, it should be a penalty. It's not like he ballooned the shot wide and then the contact is irrelevant.
Yeah, but look at the game though. Look at the game the other day. I think it was got Neil McCann on commentary. Could you imagine if he protested for 10 minutes straight after the handball incident that it should have been a penalty rather than just move on with the rest of the game? And you could argue that was a bigger moment because it was 0-0. I think Chris Sutton to continuously talk about this for the next 10 minutes after the incident was very poor.
Yeah, I think this is just Sutton trying to create headlines. He likes stirring the pot.
No, he does. I like Sutton and I like Boyd, and I think they're a good duo, and I enjoy when they're on Sky Sports, but you feel like sometimes they take it a bit too far, and for me, Sutton took it too far today.
Yeah, he did take it too far today. It's pathetic. I mean, especially when your team's up. But you're right. It's even before there was the whole confirmation with an offside or an onside. It's like, why not be open to the fact that it could be offside, Sutton?
Yeah, all he had to say was, if that is onside, that's a definite penalty, and I can't believe they didn't give it. But for 10 minutes straight, there was no confirmation that it wasn't onside or it wasn't offside, yet he still spoke about it as if, it's a horrible decision, when it could have easily been offside, because it looked 50-50.
Compare the two instances, though, man, when you had the Dundee derby earlier, right, where they got the penalty, and it looked like it could have been off, could have been on. Did Neil McCann and the English guy who was commentating start fucking greeting? No. Honestly, see having Sutton and Ian Crocker commentating Celtic games, it's like Celtic TV. Neil McCann is as impartial as you will get.
No, yes, Neil McCann's very fair.
Chris Sutton is Celtic TV to the max. I get it, right? Celtic kicking off the season.
I will say that I much prefer Chris Sutton when he's doing the analyst and the punditry in the box rather than he's doing commentary. I think he's much better in the studio, I think, than on commentary. I think when he is on commentary, his Celtic bias certainly does come out.
No, it does, but you've seen this a million times, right? I think with goalkeepers, they are just more lenient. It's like, yeah, McCrory, it is more like a natural contact to me, but he still blocked Kyogo for getting the ball. But it's just embarrassing.
Could you imagine an Old Firm game and it was just Boyd and Sutton on commentary? Could you imagine a controversial decision? The rest of the match, they would just be going back and forward, bickering over a decision that happened in the 37th minute. And we're in the 89th minute, and they haven't even discussed anything else that's happened during the game.
The Rangers are coming.
That's it. That's how it would go.
Hard-boiled eggs, Chrissy, Sutty.
How's title 56 looking? Spit it out, Sutton, would you? I mean, so did you see that? Sutton tried to make fun of Boyd, and he botched it. He couldn't spit out 56, and Boyd just turned and said, spit it out, will you?
The Rangers. Anyway, guys, we're back with more of this. I'm sure these two fuds will...
The Chris Sutton and his penalty whining is coming, and still coming.
And still coming. Anyway, guys, we'll be back very soon. Till next time. Peace.